Hey guys, it's Unclejona here and I'm back with a beer review for you, and this time we're back in the land of my fathers. Not Ireland, it's Scotland! Yeah man, and we are looking at this bad boy. It's from 6 North, called Madison West Coast IPA, and it's got quite a funky, kind of weird, sort of round, weird can, or label I should say, because it's a white can with a label on. Quite interesting. And we have an ingredients list. If it will focus. Come on, focus. So we've got water, we've got barley, we've got wheat, hops and yeast. And these guys are in Reekie House in Lawrence Kirk, AB30, which I don't know Lawrence Kirk, but Aberdeen postcode. 6.3 on the ABV. And this one is 6 degrees north, born in Belgium, brewed in Scotland. Strong malty backbone, citrus and pine, leading to a long, bitter finish. So this is definitely old school. How's it? West Coast. Is that how you do it? A gangster sign, throw up those gangster Scotland. Oh, right. Oh, wow. Look at the colour of this bad boy. I'm interested already. I've got an interest, you know. When I think of beer and I think of Scotland, I do not automatically think of Ellen and Brewdog. I think of Wee Heavy. And this looks like the colour of a Wee Heavy. Look at that. Dark, man. Little bit of haze there. You can't see through there. Kind of half a finger's head. And it's not quite white. It's off-white, which is always a nice sort of thing to see. Not just on the stout. You can definitely smell sweetness. Getting pine. I'm getting kind of orange. Sort of orangey, kind of not the little oranges like Satsuma or mandarin or that kind of stuff. Getting a bit of sweetness and all that kind of jazz too. Pininess not on the nose. Let's see where we go. 7.3 on a school night. Yes, I do it for you guys, of course. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes, hoppy. The pine is definitely, wow, in the mouthfeel. Woo. It's all about that green, that pine, that old school kind of character going on. And the colour, I can guarantee, is probably from sort of crystal 90, maybe 60, possibly. Definitely some crystal malt in there. And the malt itself is giving a little bit of spice, a little bit of that kind of astringency, but that's weird. We're getting a bit of heat on the breath as well, which is always good. Citrus and pine. Well, possibly a little citrus on the nose, maybe, but this is all about the pine. Pine! Very, very nice. And it's been a long time because everyone's going for the hazies these days. It's just crazy. And I mean, this one is that's not a traditional West Coast colour either. Okay. Yes, West Coast has got crystal in it, but not that dark and not that hazy, usually. There's a little bit of kind of, yeah, roasty, kind of very light, kind of butterscotchy kind of notes in the malt bill for this. But it's just, I mean, this is quite hoppy, I have to say. Doesn't say the IBUs on there, and it's not obscenely like bitter, but it's just, it is hoppy. I wonder if that's where they got the cloudiness from by putting a shed load of hops in here. But it's all kind of, yeah, it's not too bitter, which is weird because, yeah, some of the old school West Coast IPAs were just ridiculously bitter, and they got into this weird weird competition of trying to up the IBUs until like over 100 IBUs, like 150, and oh, I mean, where did it stop? It was ridiculous. I think the most I ever got was a 120 IBU, and that was crazy. And that's not what this is all about. It's really hoppy, don't get me wrong, and it's the right kind of hops. But is it a pure West Coast? Don't know, man. Maybe it's a West Coast Scotland. Aye, to the king or the sea. Yeah, maybe like an Oban or something, proper West Coast. Um, oh, yeah, that is hot. That's just, I mean, when you finish, although I'm not like squeezing on the hop bitterness, I'm just like, I'm breathing out hops, I'm breathing in hops. It's just real hoppy bad boy. Um, I'm quite enjoying this because it's taken me back down memory lane for about 10 years ago, I guess, when the West Coast was ruling the waves, as opposed to the more tropical NEPAs that are ridiculously out there at the moment, or milkshake or juicy or whatever's going to come next. But this is how a lot of beers used to taste like 10 years ago. Um, Even some of the real first NEPA style beers, like the Heady Toppers, for example, they were pretty hoppy, man. You know what I mean? But weirdly, they weren't this dark in colour, so that's the one thing that kind of isn't ringing quite true. But fair dues, man. I mean, that's a hoppy beer, man. What more can I say? 7.3, really nicely hidden. Like I said at the beginning, maybe a little bit on the breath, where you exhale. And yeah, Nicholas Sturgeon wouldn't want you driving after you've had a couple of these bad boys. So if you're up in Scotland, make sure you're a bit careful, because otherwise Jimmy Cranky will be after you, if you know what I'm saying. Um, Cheers and biz, guys. Anyway, we see you on the next one. I'm losing myself because I'm just neck to 7.5% beer. That's the way it should be. Cheers and biz, guys. We'll see you real soon.